What's squaccas? Welcome to the brand new series here on the channel. Today, we're going to be relaunching our Sun and Moon anime review series. Now, if you guys don't remember, or if you guys are new to the channel, back in November, I actually tried to do an anime review of Sun and Moon. I actually covered the first 2 episodes, and then what happened was I fell behind, and we're really behind, but I'll get to what we're gonna do in a second. But I fell behind, and I wanted to launch the series, like I wanted to upload episode 3, but then I really thought about it. I was like, would it really make sense for me to have uploaded episode 1 and 2 back in November and then upload episode 3 here in March? No. So you know what, I decided to just relaunch this series. So I hope that you guys are excited. This is something that I've wanted to do for a very long time. If you guys are, make sure you guys leave a like. His support is greatly appreciated. Give me some feedback as well. Let me know what I can do to improve. Now, unfortunately, I do not have face cam. I know a lot of people that do anime reviews have face cam, but I don't. The webcam that I have on my laptop is absolute crap, but I am getting a webcam this summer, so we'll see what happens. But anyways, I know we are 20 episodes behind, and I understand that, but hear me out. I want to do what I want to do, and I know that I'm really behind, but you know what, I'm gonna do what I want to do. And this is something that I wanted to do back in November, and I actually wanted to do this when X and Y was airing, but we were really behind. Like, if I were to start when I wanted to start it, like, they were up to the Kalos League, so I would have to cover everything up to the Kalos League, and that would have taken forever. So you know what, I was like, once the Sun and Moon anime starts, I'm gonna do it. And we're only behind 20 episodes, so it's not really a big deal. But anyways, make sure you guys leave a like if you guys are excited. I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. So we're gonna get started right now. So it starts off with Ash literally riding a Sharpedo right off the bat in the Alola region, which I found really interesting because usually Ash starts his adventure going to the region, or he starts his adventure in Kanto and then going to that new region. So I found this really interesting that right off the bat he's already starting in Alola. But you know what, it's really cool. And one thing obviously you can notice from watching this episode is that Ash's design is completely different. He doesn't look like the badass character that he looked like in X and Y or previous generations as well. It's a new art style they're doing, and I like it. I definitely like it. I know a lot of people really didn't like it when they saw the Coral scans when they first came out, but I definitely did like it. I like it till now, and it's cool. They're going for like a comedic base, and I can definitely see that with the episodes that I've watched. So I really do like the art style for Ash. It's something new. Some people are like, it looks like a freaking 5-year-old drew this, but you know what? They're going for like a comedic base, and I understand that. In X and Y, Ash was like this badass that was gonna conquer Kalos, and you know what happens? He freaking lost the league again. But I'm not gonna get into that. But how they actually got to Alola was pretty interesting. It's not like how Ash usually finds out about a region from a trainer or from the professor or anything like that. It was actually Mr. Mime. He's here in Alola, the first episode. Actually, I should clarify, this is the first episode. He's here with Mr. Mime, he's here with his mom, and they are actually on vacation. And how they got to vacation is Mr. Mime won this trip. Like, he won this vacation trip. Like, usually you know how you like enter like this contest and you like go to Hawaii or whatever because you win this trip. Well, that's what Mr. Mime is. Like, he's basically like the dad that one day decided to go out with Ash's mom and Ash and Pikachu, and they went to this contest thing in Kanto, and that's how Mr. Mime won the contest to get to Alola. So I found that pretty interesting, and it actually gives us like a quick like 10-second, not even 10 seconds, is it really 10 seconds, like 5 or 6 seconds synopsis, like a whole recap of how Mr. Mime won it. And then Ash and the gang, well, not Ash and the gang, because when I say Ash and the gang, I'm always thinking about like his friends. Ash and his mom and Mr. Mime go to Professor Oak really quick. Ash deposits all of his Kalos Pokemon that he caught, and he's starting fresh. Obviously, he's going to the new region with just Pikachu, because that's what Ash usually does. He just goes with Pikachu. But what's crazy is that Professor Oak actually gives Ash an egg, and Professor Oak tells him to go to the Pokemon Trader School in Alola, deliver this egg to my cousin, and we'll go from there. So I found that pretty cool. Now this episode, like I said, it's the first episode. Ash is getting the feels of Alola, like getting used to Alola. He was in Kalos for a very long time, I'm pretty sure. That's how it always is when he's in a new region. He's there for a long time, and then when he gets to a new region, you know, he's just sucking it all in, like he's in the new region. But this episode really devotes that, like Ash is just getting used to the region. So when he's with his mom at the market, he actually runs into Grubbin, and spoiler alert, if you guys have not seen the Japanese intro for Sun and Moon, I suggest you skip like a minute or two, because I'm going to spoil what happens, and I don't want people like saying like, oh, you spoiled this for me. So I'm giving you guys this chance right now. Skip ahead of this video. So 3, 2, 1. In the Japanese Sun and Moon intro, it actually does show that Ash catches a Grubbin. So this is kind of like foreshadowing of what's to come in the future. I don't really understand why he's catching the Grubbin, unless if he really like, if the writers, the creators, whatever you want to call them, go to that extent where Ash really releases Pikachu, or Pikachu goes out in the wild, or I don't know what's the point of catching a Grubbin, because Grubbin's an electric type, Pikachu's an electric type, so it really doesn't make sense why Ash would catch a Grubbin. And it does show in the Sun and Moon anime intro, in Japan, in Japanese, in Japan, whatever, it does show that Ash catches a Grubbin. So I don't know, it's really interesting. But anyways, Ash goes and tries to chase this Grubbin because, you know, it pinches his nose, and, you know, I guess they're trying to be funny at the same time. You know, Grubbin like grabs his nose and stuff, so he ends up going to the forest, and this is where we first see Tapu Koko. Now, Tapu Koko, if you guys don't know, is the island guardian of Melee Island. It's a legendary Pokemon, and right off the bat, the first episode we see it, and usually that's what they do. I know in the Black and White series they showed Zekrom in the first 2 episodes, like they dealt with Zekrom. I don't think in 3rd gen we dealt with a legendary Pokemon. 4th gen, I really don't remember too much, to be honest with you, way back then. I know in the first episode of like the first episode of the Pokemon series, you know, Ash ran into Ho-Oh and stuff like that. But the recent one that I can remember is Zekrom being in the first 2 episodes of Black and White. So right off the bat, we see the legendary Pokemon of Melee Island. And if you guys don't know, there are 4 island guardians. So I'm pretty sure we're going to see them throughout the series. But right now we're dealing with the first island, so we're going to deal with Tapu Koko. And Tapu Koko trolls Ash and awakens a Beware. And Ash is like, you know, oh, this is a Beware. And then literally this is what made me laugh so hard. Ash sees Beware like chop down a tree, and Ash thought that this was like a happy like freaking Pokemon, but it turns out he's really violent. He will destroy you with his 2 hands, and Ash and Pikachu start running like Usain Bolt, and they get the hell out of the forest, and they make it to the Pokemon trainer school because he actually sees Kiawe and Charizard, and he actually tries to follow it. So Ash basically is that kid that wanders around until he finds something, and you know, outside of Pokemon, that's not safe, so I don't recommend you do that. But Ash is at the Pokemon school, and this is where he meets his new friends. I guess this is going to be his new gang. He meets Lily, he meets Mallow, he meets Sophical. I don't know how to pronounce the dude's name. He runs into Lana, or yeah, is it Lana? Is it Lana? I'm gonna check Cerebi real quick, just because I don't want to be wrong. So yes, he runs into Lana, and Kiawe was riding the Charizard, so that's pretty interesting. So Mallow actually grabs Ash by his hand, and you know, they're touring around the Pokemon trainer school, and Ash's mom is already there talking to, so we're going to refer to this Professor Oak as Alolan Oak because they're both Professor Oaks, the ones from Kanto, the ones from Alola, so we're going to split them up into that. So Kanto Oak, Alolan Oak, got it? Good. So Ash is with Alolan Oak, Professor Oak back in Kanto's cousin, and you know, Ash is like, they're like, what are you doing here, mom? And this Oak likes to make a lot of Pokemon puns, and this facial expression right here is really funny, like Ash, Pikachu, and Mallow, and what's this Pokemon's name? It's wow, it's on Mallow's shoulder. I forget it. I'm so sorry. I'm awful with new Pokemon names and stuff, but trust me, I'll get used to them and stuff. But I found that really interesting. But Ash does deliver the egg that Kanto Oak tells Ash to do, to give it to his cousin. So he does that, so he got that off his chest. So now Ash meets Professor Kukui and stuff, so they introduce each other. Now this is my favorite part of the episode, well, one of my 2 favorite parts, and the second part is actually at the end. So we saw Tapu Koko in the first episode, and we get to see the evil gang of this series. Team Skull is in the building. Here is Team Skull, and you know, they want Kiawe's Charizard, and they're gonna battle Kiawe. So it's 3-on-1, but obviously, you know, Ash being the hero, he jumps in. So it's a bunch of Zubats, Salandits, and Yungoos, and it's Pikachu, and actually Kiawe sends out Turtonator. He doesn't use the Charizard, so I found that pretty surprising, but at the same time, I think that would have been OP, and at the same time as well, they want to show off the Alolan Pokemon. So what's really cool is that Kiawe does the Z move the first episode, and Ash is like, what the hell are you doing? Like, holy crap, like, this is so cool, and goes for the Z move, and literally obliterates Team Skull's Pokemon, and Team Skull runs off. So I'm guessing that we're gonna see a lot of Team Skull in this series, which is pretty cool. You know, we didn't really get to see too much of Team Plasma and Black and White. We didn't really get to see too much of Team Flare. They were here and there in the X and Y series. Team Aqua and Team Magma. Team Aqua and Team Magma. I said, I don't know. I said something really weird, but basically, I feel like we're gonna see a lot of Team Skull, and I'm hoping that's the case because we really do lack in like really bad Pokemon, you know, thieves and stuff like that. Like, I know we see Team Rocket and they usually do the same thing, like try to catch Pikachu and run away, but you know, that gets boring. And that's one thing I hope in the Sun and Moon anime that they change up a little bit. So at the end, Ash is having dinner with his mom. They go out to eat, and Ash and Pikachu hear something, and it's actually Tapu Koko. And Ash asked Coco, I was gonna say Coco, wow, it sounds really weird, but Ash asked Tapu Koko, like, what do you want from me? Like, why do you keep coming after me? And Tapu Koko gives Ash a Z-Ring, and it actually has the electric Z Crystal, which I found pretty amazing. We'll actually see what happens in the next episode when I do the next episode review. You guys will see what happens to that Z Crystal, which I found pretty interesting. So Ash gets the Z-Ring at the end, which is exciting, and then at the end of the episode, he's actually talking to his mom, but his mom's actually back in Kanto because she went back. So Ash decided to stay, obviously, because he wants to conquer Alola. We'll try to conquer Alola. There's no gyms, there's no Elite Four, there's no like anything like that. So Ash is gonna challenge the trials, which is gonna be really exciting. I can't wait to see that. And that's basically the entire episode. It's like Ash getting used to the whole Alola region scene. You know, he stays at the end because, you know, his mom wants to go back to Kanto. It was a vacation, but it turns out that Ash is going to stay. So I found that pretty interesting. Left me with a lot of questions. I really do want to see Team Skull. I don't know what the purpose is of Ash catching that Grubbin in the intro, so we'll see what happens with Pikachu. Maybe they rotate. I don't know, maybe it's just like an anime intro thing, but he really doesn't do it. I don't know, we'll see. But that's gonna be it for this first episode, you guys. Episode 1 and 2 were an hour-long special, but I'm actually gonna be splitting it up. Obviously, every episode is gonna get their own, you know, anime review video thing. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys really did enjoy, make sure you guys leave a like. Your support is greatly appreciated. Do apologize that this was a tad bit longer than I expected. I'm gonna try to keep this like 10 minutes or lower. I really don't want to make them like 15-20 minutes, but you know, if we have like an in-depth talk about something, then you know, it'll be longer. But anyways, this was the first episode. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. I've been Nightcrow. I'm gonna fly to here. Let me know what you guys liked about this episode. Do you guys like the new design on all the characters and stuff, especially Ash? Let me know. But anyways, squaw!